Ndị be anyị ekene m unu. Daalụ niile na ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ ife, ụmụ anyị ji eje mba. Daalụ niile na unu si na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ. Anyị sị na ọ ya dịrị unu na mma. Dịka o si dị na anyị eje gbapụ ya ọsọ na ife anyị were unu ụbọchị nke taa pere mpe, mana obere infọmeshọn anyị wetara unu. O were ozi nnukwu nwanne anyị nwoke anụ azụ the pan-Africa. O kwuru okwu maka Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and ife Mazi Nnamdi Kanu represent na the whole Africa. Nwanne, this our brother, ife ọ pịara ebe a bụ wọtọwọtọ. I love this guy so much. I like him ya nnukwu. At least o kọwasị many things, and I wish na all the Africans ga-ege ya bụ ife a wee mee ife a nwanne nwoke kwuru n'ihu akwụkwọ a. Ịma na Europeans ga-ana, West ga-ana n'obodo a. I'm telling you the gospel truth. He revealed a mind-blowing secret to the world and to the Africans. Or just mepe anya ndị Africans about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu intention to all Africa. Get your beef say, drop your own comments on the comment below. Alright, over to you, my brother.
Biafra. I know when Biafra stand, when Biafra referendum happen, what will happen? I know. Like I told you, if you want to believe that why pan-Africanism is supporting Biafra, if you want to know that what Biafra stand for is really truly a freedom, there is no African freedom fighter or African or pan-African who will say that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was doing is wrong. You know, some of them are keeping quiet. Some of the pan-Africans are keeping quiet. Do you know why? They keep quiet because they are so sad. And they already know also this will happen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because it's only a man who stands for his people will be arrested by his own government to silence him. So we are all facing the same thing. We all know that is a waiting of all of us. All the pan-Africans know that one day they will be arrested if they take a move of freedom. If they take an act of liberation, we will be arrested and be locked up and be silenced forever. So we are expecting it. We are all expecting it. That's why when it happened to Pan-Africans, you will never see another Pan-African to talk about his fellow Pan-African, because he knows what happened to him is normal. In Pan-Africanism, it's normal for you to be arrested by your government and be locked up. It's only God who can help you when you come out again. But maybe you can never come out. You will be there for the rest of your life. Because they know when they leave you, you will become more popular again. You will still speak more again. They can never silence your mouth. The only way to silence Pan-African, they know it, is to lock you up and forget about you forever. Because when they bring you out, you will still do the same thing. Because Pan-Africans will never give up. A real Pan-Africans, they will never release you from prison when they lock you. Remember it, I never pray for me to be locked up. But when I'm locked up, remember it that they will never release me. They will never. So that's why Pan-Africans, you will only see me talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but there's no Pan-African in Africa who will talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they know, we already know that it's normal, and we already know that when it happened, it's normal thing in Pan-Africanism to be arrested. But if you are arrested as Pan-African, what should be expected from your peoples? What should be expected from Africans? This is why African Pan-Africans are little, and African Pan-Africans are so afraid, and most of them are saying that I will not sacrifice myself. Because why? When you do it, you don't get peoples who stand for you tomorrow. You do it alone. That's why if anybody want to become Pan-African in Africa, do it because you want God to pay you, but not Africans to pay you back. They can't pay you. They will only pay you with evil deed. You will fight for Africa just because God is seeing you. You will fight for Africa just because you want to sacrifice yourself for Africa. Don't think that Africa will pay you back. Don't think of it. Do it and go when your time is finished or when they lock you up. But all Pan-Africans in Africa know what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu plan is the best solution for Nigeria. I see it as the best solution because there is no solution in Nigeria. Tell me, what is the solution in Nigeria? What solution do we have in Nigeria that we can do without what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was planning to do? Many people see it as divided. You know, they said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was trying to divide Nigeria. And Western media, if you go there, they write there that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was trying to recruit terrorism. You know, they were saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was trying to recruit terrorism, was trying to form this thing, all kind of bandit and this thing. You know, this is what they were saying. And we can all see that They will never call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a bandit or terrorist or a killer or a murderer if he is not standing for his peoples. It's only a man who stands for freedom in Africa they will call him, while Western people will call him a terrorist. But while Western people are terrorists, there is no terrorists. If Africans want to know they are real terrorists in Africa, Western peoples are your terrorists, not your fellow Africans. African government, if you want to arrest the real terrorists, then arrest your partners. Western peoples, Americans, UK, they are the peoples you are working with. They are your partners. So African leaders will never arrest those people. They will never touch those people. Those people are good people for them. The real people who are destroying your people, they are good. Right? We all know whatever is happening in Nigeria. What UK is causing in Nigeria. What France government is causing in Nigeria. What America is causing in Nigeria. The damages they are causing in Nigeria. We all know it. But who arrests them? Do Nigerian government ever attempt to arrest them? No. While those are the real criminals who should be arrested for the murder cases they have done in Nigeria. How many children they have murdered in Nigeria? Because they were the ones supplying weapons to those terrorists, Boko Haram and other peoples, to keep on killing people in Nigeria. But nobody is attempting to arrest them. But a man who came out without no weapon and say, I want my people to have their referendum, you call it like he is criminal. They are afraid. If you are not afraid, why do you arrest him? That's the time you should know that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was trying to do is a great thing. They are afraid if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did it, they will lose control over everything. Africans are not reasoning this part. They are just reasoning and concentrating on Western media. Western media will tell you that, oh, your father is a criminal, you believe it. Africans are believing it. If Western media write it there, oh, look, your father is a criminal, you believe that, yes, my father is a criminal. And you will hate your father and fight against your father. Right? It's a pity. It's a pity that we Africans are really believing in that. What Western media is emphasizing. But Western people are not believing in your African media. Don't you know that? Whatever your African media is population is like a rubbish in the eyes of Western peoples. But it's only you, the Africans, who are there believing in Western media than your own African media. I can sit here and talk about something that is happening in Africa, and you will see an African will tell me, my brother, you are lying. But when it's a white man who is sitting in media talking, they will say, oh, my brother, you are doing a great job. My brother, you are saying the truth. They will support that white media, but they can never support your black media. So you are thinking like your fellow black will be the one who will be fooling you. Your enemy will love you. Your enemy, whatever your enemy populace, that will help you. That's what you are thinking. That's why Africa is still going back. We are trying all our best to go front. We can't go because our people are so much concentrated in Western media. They are no more concentrated in our African media. They too much believe in white man than themselves. Stop learning English language in Africa. Stop learning French language in Africa. Stop learning Portuguese in Africa. These are the languages that are making you to hate yourself. If you don't believe me, if you have 2 children, take one to English school and leave one to learn your own language. Then among these 2 children, you will see who will hate himself. The one you take to English school will hate himself more than the one you live in your compound to learn your language, to learn your culture, will be more stronger and will be more focused than the one you take to English school. Because the one you take to English school will be very I don't even know what to say. Will hate himself totally. Will believe in white man. But the one you keep in home, believe me, if you have 2 child, try this. Take one of your child, you have 2 child, take one to English school, leave one at home to learn your culture and to learn how to survive. Yeah. They may call him illiterate, no problem. That illiterate man who never go to English school is more better than a person who go to English school. The person who go to English school or French school or Portuguese school to learn French language or to learn English language or to learn Portuguese language, what is it helping them? What is it helping us? We learn it, yes. We learn. We go to school. Whatever we learn in school, in the books, in school, in subjects, I learn English language. Every subject that we are learning, what do we learn there? We learn only the great things about white people and only the poor things about black peoples. We never learn the great things about black peoples in school. We never see it in the book. The only things you see in the book about black people is how black people are fools. You know? How black people are poor. That is the only thing you see. But you are seeing everything about white people in those books. Are things to show you in that book, like how white people were great, how white people were creating things, how great white people, who was the great white man, who was the great man in the world, they will show you white man. Who was the great dancer in the world, they will show you white man in the book. So you learn that now, you believe that everything great is about white people. Everything stupid and idiot is about your own people. So you say to yourself totally. This is what they are doing to us. They told us that we are learning English language. No matter how you learn English language in African university, go to college, go to everywhere, learn in Africa English language. If you still go to UK, you will still go back to square one. Because why? Why, if you still go to UK, you cannot even speak proper English? Why? If you go to America, you cannot even communicate with them. And they told you that you are learning English language. So are you sure the one you are learning in Africa is a language? Or is to hate yourself? People will not understand more. The one you are learning, the English language they give you, they told you that we give you a language to learn, for you to be educated. So I cannot be educated with my own language. Africans can be only educated through Western language. We cannot be educated with our own language. That's what they are telling us, that Africa cannot be educated with their own language. So it means if you learn your own language, you are not educated. But if you learn England language, you are educated. So let us tell England also, if they learn their own language, they are not educated. So let them go and learn African language. Will they agree to that? Will England abandon English and learn Mandinka or Yoruba or any other thing, any other language in Africa to be educated? They will never abandon their language for African language. They will never see their people fools. They will never call their peoples illiterate because they don't know how to speak African language. They will never. But it's only an African black man will call his fellow black man illiterate because you don't know how to speak a foreign language. The one that is not your language is not my language, and you are telling me you are illiterate because I don't know how to speak that language. So you want me to feel ashamed because I can't speak a foreign language. But UK citizens and American citizens are not able to speak African language. And you are not telling them to feel ashamed that because they are not speaking African language. But you are making your own fellow black to feel ashamed because he is unable to speak a foreign language. We look down on them. If anybody didn't learn English, we look down. We call them, this one is illiterate. He is not educated. He is not educated. What educated? Educated from where? From what? If you learn English, can you create car? Can you create bicycle? You cannot even create simple cup. English language, what is English language and French language and Portuguese language doing to you? Africa. It is only making Africans to hate themselves and believe in UK. Believe in Western people more than yourself. This language makes us to hate ourselves and believe in them. It makes us to unlove ourselves and love them more. That's why you see all Africans appreciating white man more than black man. It's not our fault. The language we are learning, that is the problem. I realized this since I was in school. That this one I'm learning here is making me to hate myself. Since I was in school. That this language, I'm not learning language here. Because in Gambia, we learn this something about history, like SES, social and environmental study. And we learn history also, you know. We learn SES and history, social and environmental study. But if you go to SES, the only thing they show you about Fodekawa, Dumbuya and other things, you know, Mansa Musa, they speak little about Mansa Musa. Then the rest is about how the map, how Europe is bigger than Africa. In SES, social and environmental study. Trust me. So what is that? You told me about Mansa Musa in SES, but you just tell me a little story about Mansa Musa. They will never tell you that Mansa Musa was the richest man and was the richest king in the whole world. It's not in SES. And that's the fact. But that is not in SES. So they just speak little about these people. The rest is how Europe, in the map, how Europe was bigger than Africa, how Europe is more beautiful. They will show you beautiful buildings. This is in Canada. This building is in America. Africa, no. There is no beautiful picture in SES about Africa. Only bad places. Only how our great-grandfathers were suffering from hunger. Children were hungry and slim. That was the only picture in those books. To make you look down on yourself. There, you are seeing it, and you are learning, and you are happy to learn that. You are appreciating it. Learning a language. They brought a book to you and draw you there as a poor man and draw themselves as a rich people, as the kind people, and draw you there as a bad man, and they tell you that read it and learn it. And you are reading it and you feel happy reading a book that show you that you are a fool, but the person who brought this book to you is more intelligent than you. And we are happy. If you are African, you don't know how to speak English, you don't know how to speak French, you don't know how to speak Portuguese, you can only speak African language, I appreciate you. You are more educated than any other person. I'm telling you.
And by as kwadalo nne no na nugo ife the pen Africa nwanne anyị nwoke ife okwuru n'elu akwụkwọ a nwanne ife a ndịrị mmadụ anyị chọrọ ị na-etinye content fa ebe a ndị na-ekwu eziokwu ndị na-ekwu ka o si wee dị freedom fighters na-efa okay na nghọta. He opened our eyes about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's mind to Africans. Ọ kọwara ya ọfụma. My brother ya dịka echi na-echi ada agwụ agwụ. Ọ ya dị gị na mma n'ọnụ Igbo, ọ ya dị gị mma na Nkwọ, dị gị mma n'Orie, dịkwa gị mma n'Afọ, dịkwazie gị mma n'Eke. Onye anyị kwuru na-akọ ya dịrịrị ise. Ngwa daalụ niile ka isi na-esola anyị ka emesịanụ ndị be anyị.